Hey everybody, this is Sive Morten with the ForexPeaceArmy.com. As usual, providing the update on euro currency. Today we have prepared a new fundamental report where we considered recent data that we've gotten CPI numbers, PPI numbers, but also have taken a bit different look on the current situation with the inflation, some opinions. So the overall background in the United States is very tricky right now. Fed stance and Powell in particular. I'm not jealous to him, so it stands in a really tough situation. No, in fact, if we wouldn't have the pressure from the political pressure from Donald Trump and his team, personally, I wouldn't cut the rate in the current circumstances. Yes, we have revisions of the payrolls, but if you take a look at an average payrolls for the year, they are moderate. They are not really stands in disaster. So they not urgently needs to cut the rate due to the revisions of the payrolls. Speaking about inflation, there's absolutely a different situation where we have the jump in the PPI and overall expectations on inflation is rather high. From that standpoint of view, it's not necessary to cut the rate in September within the 2 weeks. But we suggest that 25 basis points cut will follow, just because, well, come down the Donald Trump camp and just make it a bit provide some relief in these tensions. Just said, here is your 25 basis points, just leave us for now. So that's our view in the current situation. Also, we have considered the factors that mentioned the JP Morgan and their forecast for euro currency in midterm. It's really interesting. So if you'd like to, you could read it. So speaking about technical side, here, yes, I put the link to report down in the video. So speaking about technical side here, mostly everything depends on the daily and intraday charts, because if you take a look at monthly and weekly, there are no definite clues to what really could happen. That's why we're just keep going with the plan. First, on the daily chart, we're still watching for possible hand shoulders, if of course it will not happen the direct straightforward breakout. It's all sometimes happen. But potentially we see this and that might be formed, and that could provide great chance for a trading process. In fact, the hand shoulders will be the second pattern that we will consider, and this will be the second setup where we start thinking about taking the short position, probably with a pullback here, aiming on the bottom of the right arm. But that will be already the second trade. The first trade we're now in is actually stands on the 4 time frame chart. This is free drive. Recent performance tells that it was absolutely correct decision from our side, that we said keep an eye on the 1650. If you will see bounce and not downside action, that might be the free drive. And indeed, you can see that with this upward action, market mostly erased the previous drop here. But at the same time, it's nothing lost yet, so until the target, it's still pretty much room. So you can see target stands approximately 1756, 1765. So somewhere in this area, this will be the top of the third drive. And it's actually only halfway to the target. I do not see any problems to consider another chance for a position taking here. Besides, if you of course do not have it, because we call it about this possible trading and position taking last week also. So if you're on board, you could just keep it. If you're just thinking about it, well, very often the final part of the free drive is taking the shape of the butterfly. It's not always happens, but very often. So that's why let's take a look on the hourly chart here. The one pattern that we really could keep an eye on, it's possible butterfly. If market will start forming some retracement to some level, 1680, 30%, 1660, or between them on the 50% support, that will be a good chance for possible taking the long position. If of course we will not see just miserable plunge here to the downside, it will be gradual. That might be considered. So invalidation point will be the same, the bottom of the second drive. So market should not drop in the reverse dispatching. So it should stay above these lows. That's actually the plan for the Monday. Let's see. Speaking about the Donald Trump and Putin, and shortly speaking, I think that they come to some. They have decided something. It's definitely because if you heard what Putin said when they met Trump, he said, "I am glad to see you alive and healthy." So definitely they have some closer relations that it's shown on the public. They were excited after meeting, and they are in the game. That's why no details have been provided to the public. And just on the first look, it seems that nothing has been actually agreed, so it's just meeting has passed without results. But I think that it's not so. So they just can't put it on the public because they just agreed and no steps have been taken yet. They can't disclose it. So and they actually said that second meeting will be very, very soon. It also points that some agreements and some touch points exist right now. So that's probably all for now. Let's see for Monday open and see what will happen with the patrons.